Well, it's that time of year again. It's the retro gaming convention season. And our first convention this year is going to be the Midwest Gaming Classic. And we're bringing you day one, and we're heading north to check out what is the Midwest's largest retro gaming and arcade convention. I just love these long drives, relaxing, listening to the radio, checking the scenery. We've made it to Milwaukee, and day one will get us started with the opening ceremony of Midwest Gaming Classic. After the opening ceremony, they opened up the arcade room for Friday ticket holders. There's the new Godzilla Kaiju Wars and Barry O's Pinball. It's a great table for Kansas City barbecue lovers. Nothing like playing pinball and learning how to smoke some ribs. Of course, on each side of this table is Galactic Tank Force and Oktoberfest. Atari's Asteroids Recharged was on hand. What a great cabinet. It has all the aspects of the original that you would love. Great controls, thrust, hyperspace, with the additions of power-ups. Spooky tables, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Scooby-Doo. Some Valhalla. Who doesn't love Pulp Fiction? Over at Jersey Jack, of course, got Toy Story 4 and Wizard of Oz tables. Then Barrels of Fun, couple Labyrinth tables. Of course, with toppers. Then our friends at Arcade Supernova brought in an original Showbiz pizza sign and some rare Jaws memorabilia. All in support of Stern Jaws, of which there were many tables to be had at this convention. Every version of Jaws and in multiple of them. There were lines up for these tables all weekend long as people wanted to get their hands on this one and play it. Here we have an array of custom pinball tables. The one that really stole the show is here as we come around the corner. You see a Cuphead pinball. Lots and lots of people were interested in this one. Here we have some Blast City candy cabs. And in this room, which is a very, very big conference room, which was loaded with pinball tables, arcades, and other console systems, this is really the only row of arcade cabinets. So there were just a handful in here, and that's because the arcade was down on the second floor and had a lot more arcades down there. And we'll take a look at those in a future video. Of course, we got to stop and take a look at Golden Tee Classic here in honor of Arcade 1-Up's Golden Tea Deluxe that is up for pre-order today. Here comes Robotron 2084, and we were honored to have Eugene Jarvis at the convention this year, of course, with Raw Thrills as they were showing off their Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR game. This is pretty early in the show, so as we take a look at these classic pinball machines, I'll let you know people were still loading things in, getting things set up in this room. This part of the show was open, I believe, for about 4 to 5 hours, and I made the most of it. After shooting all this footage, I stayed around and played games for quite a while. It was a lot of fun, and if you head down, Friday is the day. Make sure you get that ticket. These sell out for the Friday night preview night, and because it is a smaller crowd, you can pretty much take your pick of these games and play. Of course, there's a Shadow Pinball. Who doesn't want Alec Baldwin staring at them? One of my favorites at the show was the Stargate table. That back glass is really amazing. The effect they have on the Stargate is really cool. Here is Ghostbusters and the Star Trek from the Kelvin timeline. Both very cool tables. A big Buck Hunter Pro pinball, of course. Demolition Man. And then, of course, Jurassic Park. We'll see several of these at the show. There's a Judge Dredd and another Ghostbusters. And, of course, they're getting things set up. Here's a Street Fighter 2 getting set up. Of course, we have some more classics and 90s era. Here's a rip-off of Top Gun from Gottlieb called Gold Wings, and everything about that screams Top Gun. Then we have Ultraman Kaiju Rumble, and of course Indiana Jones with the Ark of the Covenant topper. And lastly, X-Men. Here we have one of the new cabs or new pinball machines on the floor. This was the Ninja Eclipse from Turner Pinball. This is a very interesting game. Aspects of it with the character building, allies that you select from that give you power-ups as you go. Really cool. As we look around the Jersey Jack tables, we have, of course, Godfather, and then the newer Guns N' Roses table, which was getting updated. Here's a closer look at the Toy Story 4 pinballs we talked about earlier. One of the interesting things is that Jersey Jacks was selling banners and back glass artwork, so that was pretty cool. You could also get spooky back glass artwork there as well. And of course, here's one of the other newer tables of the convention, the Elton John tables, and there are 3 of them here. The 2 main ones, and then of course over off to the right is the smaller edition. Music on this just was blasting and sounding great. We jump back over to Spooky Pinball. Of course, we have our Scooby-Doo Halloween. One of the coolest things about the Halloween is the mechanism for Michael Myers peeking out behind the bushes. That was very entertaining to watch. It's a great table, and of course next to that is the Looney Tunes. And then we'll head over to the Stern section. These are the ones over the last few years. Of course, you have Godzilla. And there's Avengers, Infinity War back there, and of course Jurassic Park, Deadpool, Venom, Stranger Things. And of course, they brought them all network connected up. And here we are, Multimorphic, who brought Resistance and the Princess Bride, and of course all the attentions was going towards Princess Bride. And there was a constant line of people wanting to play this one. It was interesting. If you want to see more gameplay of this one or Ninja Eclipse, be sure to check out the shorts I released last weekend from the convention. And this quick shout out to our friends at Draftcade here in Kansas City. And here's a closer look at Raw Thrills Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR. Game's amazing. We'll finish up here with some Neo Geos.
So that's the end of the first night. And it was crazy. Just tons of pinball. Every vendor you can imagine. Stern, Multimorphic, Jersey Jack, Spooky, Turner Pinball. Crazy. Like, you'd think this was a pinball show. There were so many pinballs. But totally worth the first night. So if you're ever out here, definitely check it out. Don't miss night one.